Leader, I am totally in support of what you have just said. As a nation, it's not everything that has to be politics. I think it would be foolhardy for a government in any country to declare a state of emergency on a matter like this for political reasons. It will be foolhardy. Or maybe to use the state of emergency to intimidate opponents. It will be foolhardy of any government throughout the world to do that. This state of emergency is extremely necessary if we have to fight against this substance abuse. Otherwise, we're heading for doom. This particular issue is extremely serious. And we should not be seen as leaders of this nation playing politics around a matter like this. No, I don't think so. No political party will play politics with this. No particular politician will play politics with this. It should be a matter of concern to all of us. We should go all out to ensure that we stop this malaise. Otherwise, we'll be heading for a not too pleasant future. Thank you very much, Leader. You have said it all, and I appreciate you. And I know, of course, people, it's not like those days when you play politics with little things. Our people, the people of Sierra Leone, have become so politically conscious right now that it's difficult to just convince them using petty things, petty issues. I'm sure that we are together in this, and I want to take this opportunity to thank the opposition for giving their all to ensure that we fight this malaise together, because it is about our future. It is about the future of Sierra Leone. We must be united at a time like this. Thank you very much, Leader. And any second?
I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, the questions that this Honorable House debates the following constitutional instrument, number 7 of 2024, which was laid on the table of the House on Thursday, 18th April 2024. The Public Emergency Regulations 2024, the Drug and Substance Abuse Public Emergency Response Regulations 2024. Yes, honorable members, the debate starts. Yes, second. Honorable Onfa.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, in the exercise of our duties as representatives of the people, myself and the honorable whip of the opposition rose in this honorable House on standing orders 19 and 23 respectively. What should be noteworthy, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, is that our actions on that fateful day was stimulated by a matter of public interest, a matter that was the discussion of on every social media platform. It entails a dehumanizing shaving and public shaving of the heads of supposed users of Kush, as well as the mass burial of supposed victims of Kush. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, however, what we have here today is a document, and contained in this document are regulations, which is for the declaration of a state of emergency, the product of the unanimity of this House and the action by the President The president that have listened to our cries. The president that have listened to the cries of the people. I want to go on record to appreciate the leadership of this parliament for ensuring that we left no stone unturned in uncovering the root cause of this menace. Mr. Speaker, I want to say that you have stayed true to what you said on that given day, that we are all vulnerable to this attack, that our kids are not immune from this attack, and our very selves are not immune from this harmful substance named Kush. In a nutshell, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, this drug and substance abuse public emergency response declaration and regulation should be considered as our baby, a baby of this parliament, and we should treat it as such. We are appreciative to have received the regulations. We're in appreciation because these regulations give effect to the declaration and proclamation that the president made. And in essence, it serves as the guidelines of how the public emergency response should work. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, subsection 2 of section 29 is clear of when the president may issue a proclamation. And in this very case, subsection 2C says, when there is an actual breakdown of public order or public safety in the whole of Sierra Leone or part of, or any part thereof, to such an extent as to require extraordinary measures to restore peace and security. We want to note the authorities and the agencies that are charged with the responsibility to ensure that we do not get to this point, as they have either failed for one or two reasons. One of the reasons we have call for public emergency is for us to unlock the requisite financial support, the necessary emergency funds, and the necessary response to allow this nation to build on existing structures, to help curb the challenges among substance abuse, as well as the rehabilitation of the victims that are already heavily dependent on this drug. Absolutely, there should be a clear-cut distinction between the users and the sellers and the producers of this harmful substance. But nonetheless, we should also note that we have users that are also suppliers of this drug. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, part 2 of this, especially in these first 90 days, that they play a critical role in this mobilization because they need to learn in the process. Another entity that we cannot leave behind in this response is the opposition. We want this response to have a national face. We want this response, this menace, and for good. Mr. Speaker, this regulation has given the relevant efficacy to fight this menace. And Section 3, Part 3 of the regulation ensures that we build on existing structure. The leader of government business spoke about the penalties or who we are going after in Part 2. For Part 3, it tells you that with all the facilities that will be given to the task force, we'll be laying the solid rock upon which the fight for this menace will stand on But we should remember that the fight against Kush should not only stop at Kush, it should go beyond fighting Kush and other harmful substances. Because today it may be Kush, emergency was declared. The relevant infrastructure were not there. There was no emergency response to any disaster. But today, we are fighting Kush. National Drug Law Enforcement is there. But the how we should carry out this exercise. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, as much as I am the second of this motion, I want to believe it is incumbent on me to re-echo the concerns of the section of the populace, the public. This is a public document. Plus, entities may want to misuse the authorities that have been conferred on them to misuse their power. Our platform makes it clear that a lot of in the future generations of this country. Mr. Speaker, before I end, there's a Greek proverb that says, a society grows great when old men plant trees under which they know they shall never sit. And what we are doing here essentially is planting those trees. So what we need to note, and what the leader of government are looking at, regulations once set today will expire in 90 days or could be reactivated after 90 days, which means it gives us an opportunity to evaluate what goes on and how this matter is handled in the next 90 days. If there are any missteps in the process, it should be corrected. And thankfully, if it ends, then the state of emergency could come to a halt. We are hoping that the relevant infrastructure will be developed in the process so that whenever we have to fight any harmful substance that rear its ugly head in Sierra Leone, we will not have to resort to a state of emergency, but the requisite people that are trafficking the drug have their measures of 15 years imprisonment. We are also happy that people, the law authorities that also want to circumvent and undermine the efforts of government also will face of justice. To explain to this House, who participate as an accomplice to a person
state of emergency on this minutes. Mr. Speaker, I remember my colleague graduated is a leader or is not removed of the law is no excuse. So we need to explain to our people. But if we don't understand what is entailed here, we cannot take the right message to our people. Emergency and the regulations guiding that particular proclamation is approved by the House. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, you go to page 2 under premise, the meaning include houses, compounds, unfinished structures, facilities. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I want to take you to page 3. We have what we call discriminatory and non-discriminatory terms. These are our citizens, these are our youths. So 1 shall be headed by a drug and substance abuse treatment and rehabilitation supervisor, who shall be responsible for administration of the center, including oversight of the center, case management, psychosocial support, food and nutrition supply. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, this is a whole bulk of facilities or sectors that falls under this. Case management on its own is very broad. Having case management, rehabilitation center, nutrition support, headed by one individual, expansion of treatment services including outpatient clinics and residential facilities. The D is talking about regulatory controls.